your Doom City friendly monster Coach D, and you are listening to the On the Way Up show only on Highly Unique Radio.
It's Coach 954. It's Monday morning. We doing it. We right here at the Hollywood studio at Highly Unique. Y'all ready for a Monday? Let's talk to the people, Star. What's going on this Monday?
Hey, happy Monday. Good morning, everyone. It's your favorite girl, Takara Star. You know I'm from Alaska, so they say I come from afar.
Ooh.
More exotic than your foreign car, but...
That's what it's all about. But you, my boy, Coach D, it's Monday morning. Boy, you looking so elegant. I don't even know the word to use right now, man.
You just gotta go like this,
He gotta
just
glow.
all praise,
But you know what, Coach?
Yes,
Good morning
sir.
to you, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Star.
Good morning.
Good morning, Black.
What is the word, my brother?
And my listeners, what they do is your Doom City friendly monster. Happy Monday.
That's right.
And I don't care what you say about how I look.
No,
this
you
morning,
looking good,
sir.
Coach. I'm impressed. You know, the glasses, you're doing your thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the listeners should know about how
They
I'm
gotta see
looking.
us on
You gotta
on
see us on
man.
YouTube,
Y'all
baby.
better go.
They gotta see us on YouTube.
Yeah, boy, you looking dapper today.
Yeah, you know, spending a good $12, to look good, it ain't nothing.
Yeah, but Coach, you
Those
know,
glasses are $12?
I'm talking about everything costs $12.
Okay, I know that's right.
man,
We
we
go
ain't messing
shopping with
Coach this
you.
morning.
You know what I'm saying?
What's going on, Black? How you feeling this Monday, man?
Man, another day, another dollar. We upside getting that money. It's all good, man. You know what it is?
But good, man.
Hey, but I want y'all to know the Canes are back. And I got my shirt on today because can't nobody say nothing. Did y'all see how good them Miami Hurricanes did this
Congratulations,
week?
Coach.
Hey, y'all. I'm kind of saving a little bit for my segment because it's going to be off the chain today talking about them Canes.
Coach, I think you say that energy all weekend long. Couldn't wait to get back on the radio just so you can say, hey, my team won.
Yeah,
this past
man, it's
weekend.
been a good week for my teams. I mean, Broward County High School football. I mean, the Blanche Ely Tigers. And again, I'm just saying this. I root for all the teams in Broward County. But to see those kids go against Chaminade Madonna, I mean, one of the elite national programs, and they pulled it out with a blocked field goal. I mean, it was like the stands went just bananas.
During overtime, Coach.
In overtime.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
so it was
exactly
some
what
good high
happened.
school football going on down here.
Great high school football action this past Friday.
So
Star,
what you
how
was
was your
doing?
weekend?
Oh, I was going there too, Coach. I know what she finna talk. I was there too, but talk about it, Star.
Oh, yeah, y'all know I was going to talk about that Urban Film Festival.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was lovely. Black, did you enjoy yourself?
Had an amazing time at the Urban Film Festival this year.
Yeah, we were all in the building. It
Big
was
shout out to Marco and Blah, the CEO and president of Urban Film Festival. The guy did a great job
Absolutely.
this year.
Yeah,
It was
they did an
my
amazing job.
It was my first time going, but why they call it Urban Film Festival? I guess
it's self-explanatory statement, but more clarification. It's a film festival based on entrepreneurs and filmmakers in the urban genre. Like it's about black directors, black filmmakers, black producers, black executive producers.
Yo, I got-
independent.
I can dig
Yeah.
it.
I gotta admit, man, this past weekend, just interviewing some great, amazing people, man. We were a part of Black Excellence at its best, man.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I rubbed elbows and shoulders with quite a lot of amazing men and women this past weekend. So, man, big up to Urban Festival, big ups to South Promo. I think they did a great job putting on an amazing event this past weekend.
yeah.
But Coach, you coming out I saw you at the film festival. Look like you coming out your shell, man. Look like you can do a little acting, man. Did you do any
You know,
improv while you was there?
No, I'll be real with you, man. When I was younger, man, I participated in school plays a lot. I still remember my 5th grade play, man, where I was Chris Cross.
Wait a minute, man.
yeah.
Black, you believe
You
you black?
played Chris Cross?
Hey, man, he said he
played
did it. I
Chris
believe he
Cross.
did it.
I played Chris Cross, man. Chris Cross to make you jump.
Hey,
Y'all remember that? So I
yeah,
had to
it's
perform that
weedy,
for
weedy.
the school. You know what I'm saying? At Park Ridge Elementary out there. in
Okay,
Deerfield.
okay. He went back to elementary school.
Yeah.
That boy really was acting
Yeah,
back
yeah.
then.
I
He
think
ain't
Chris
playing.
Cross was like my first crush.
Really?
Yeah, that I was about that age group. I think when they came out, and I was like,
Man,
okay,
they
crisscross.
probably made that song for you. I
They was
devoted my
fly.
whole life to rock the
The
mic, getting
Aisha.
grabbed. putting my
no,
hands
and there's a jealous girl. Remember, I had the whole soundtrack.
Oh, but that's not crisscross.
That's not crisscross. They had a jealous girl in the town.
No, that.
Oh, that's immature.
Immature.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
Those
No,
were my little
no,
boy
no,
bands at the time.
And Aisha was ABC.
Dang,
Oh,
another
yeah,
bad
you're right,
creation.
you're right, you're right.
Okay, well there you go. All three of them. I guess
Chris
that was my
Cross was
genre. They had
I
all the little
Missed the
boy
Bus.
bands.
Yeah.
I missed the bus. Yeah, I
Let's
know
start.
that. Yeah.
We had you there with all those famous people. Did you have any idea that you were maybe an actor one day in a play? I mean, in a movie. I'm jumping to play. I want to go straight movie.
No, I don't know if I ever saw myself as an actor in a movie or a play, but God is really showing me that anything is possible. So
And
who am I?
she's underselling herself, man. I know she was an extra on Love and Hip Hop Miami.
I wasn't an actress.
You know what I'm
Listen,
saying?
I've been in music videos before.
Right.
I didn't really see it coming. It's just I'll get an inspiration to do something. God will tell me to do something, and I'll do it. And at one point in time, God told me go try out for some music videos and model. And the very first gig I applied for, I got it. So I
Okay.
was on the Every Day We Lit music video. Then I went out and was like, well, let me learn how to act a little bit, see how that world looks like. So I jumped on the Love and Hip Hop Miami.
Okay. You had a line in the Love and Hip Hop, or you just standing there?
No, I basically was standing there.
Oh.
It wasn't nothing serious. I was in a couple. They had music videos in that show. I was in some of those, in the crowd.
Well, I got a movie coming out, man. So you guys be on the lookout for it.
What is it
Okay.
called?
Now, I'm still waiting for Mr. Black to give me
Oh,
that.
there you go, that part.
You know what I'm
You'll
saying?
see, and then something might come with this.
What you talking about?
It wasn't like a preliminary thought per se. It's just something that comes about and you just go with it.
I love Coach D's audition tape. He keeps making sure he's in the movie.
Consistency is everything, brother.
Filming starts September 12th.
12th through the 16th.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
So guess what? I'll be sleeping right in front of the studio waiting for my turn.
Got you, bro.
Somebody
how that
don't,
works,
somebody don't show up, man. I'm there.
There you go. You could be an extra,
I'll be
right?
that extra,
All right, we be
you know
an
what I'm
extra.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the music people down there dabbled into the acting world. Do you think that's a smart move? Like from the music to the big screen?
Why not?
Most definitely.
I think it's amazing.
It's
I think
amazing.
it helps enhance their portfolio. I mean, let's look at it. Rappers who became well-known actors and actresses.
Right.
I could name 4 right now that had a legendary career.
LL
Yeah.
Cool J.
1,
Snoop Dogg.
okay,
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube.
2,
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, give me one
Queen,
more.
Queen Latifah.
Yeah, Queen. Okay.
Lorenzo Ice-T.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is-
but
is
that's
his name
movie.
Lorenzo?
That's
Is it
TV.
Ice-T.
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 Yeah. Ice-T
Ice-T.
did do the movie. I like the one he did when they were trying to kill him and he was running all through the woods.
No, man, I think one of the
You know
best
the one I'm talking
movies
about?
that I've seen Ice-T on is with Wesley Snipes,
Oh, New Jack City.
New Jack City.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, for
But,
sure.
but listen, his career had went past that. He's been on Law and Order for 25 years.
Facts.
Yeah. What about P. Diddy? No Diddy?
We could do Jamie Foxx. Listen, Jamie Foxx was in the music, comedy,
But
and movies.
But he's not a rapper though. But he
He did music.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
No,
got a whole album.
Yeah, but Jamie,
And he can sing.
Yeah, Jamie's a little different. Like there are artists that are different. Jamie Foxx is one of those. Like he's an artist that supposed to have been a singer, and he became a comedian, and then elevated himself to acting and whatever. He's an entertainer.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I would say Jamie
And-
Foxx
and-
is
and-
really
He's
the-
that true triple threat.
Yeah.
But like actors or rappers or musicians that became actors. Yo,
You know what? I think you guys are sleeping on just, the younger generation. Well, they're not younger generation, but young. I would call them young entrepreneur. Like, you had Romeo Miller this past weekend.
Right.
Who has at least
Great
like,
example.
credit for about 100 films that's currently out right now.
Right.
You guys are sleeping on.
Shout out to Romeo Land Studios.
Shad Moss,
Yeah.
Shad Moss,
Lil
Lil
Bow
Bow
Wow,
Wow.
Lil
You know
Bow
what I'm
Wow.
saying? He also has a lot of films out under his belt as well. So.
What about Dream Girls? Beyonce. That's my girl.
Yeah,
Now she played that role. Man.
But once again, I think like actors, people like Beyonce, Bow Wow,
Method Man.
Mos Def.
Romeo, Mos Def.
Common.
Yeah.
All these people, all the artists,
yeah.
what are the same. They did music, got to a point, and their charisma, their skill set, it would naturally make them go to the next step, and that's part of it. I think.
I mean, T.I. tried it.
Yeah, T.I. tried it.
Yeah, he got a
T.I.
couple
had a
out.
good
Yeah.
movie.
I think Takers and Robot
Yeah,
Takers
Takers,
was amazing. You know what I'm saying? So again,
Which one was that where they had the weed and the chicken?
oh, that was with Big Boy.
Yeah.
And Diana Ross's son played in that movie also. Ian Ross.
Oh man, Black, you took me back. Diana Ross in The Wiz, man.
Oh, the
When I
Wiz.
think of home, I think of a place.
The Wiz. The
Black,
Wiz-
you know that's the best.
No.
She the best to ever do it, Black.
Mahogany was way better than the Wiz. Matter of fact, the Lady Sing the Blues was way better than I think.
Okay,
I think when people put her in the Wiz, right? And we talking about Diana Ross. When people put her in the Wiz and they're like, yo, she made it when she was amazing before that. I think we like the reason why I say that the Wiz is a remake of the Wizard of Oz, so you could not do that bad.
But Black, I'm gonna tell you one secret before we go to break. Coach D ain't even seen The Wiz yet. We gonna have to.
Oh, you just be. That's why you bring it up because you being mean.
No, that's cool. Look, man, when you guys are talking about stuff for millennials,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
He still had milk around his mouth.
I probably wasn't even born yet, Coach.
Yeah, 77.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't around.
right.
Oh, you wasn't
know what
around?
I'm saying?
But certain things just keep getting recycled in every generation. Cause I've seen Goldie, I've seen The Wiz, I've seen all kind of older movies. I've seen all the Richard Pryor movies.
Yeah, but see, you like.
That's when I was young watching TV. I don't watch TV now.
No, but Coach D, I asked him about Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. Guess what he told me?
Who?
Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory with the Looper Man.
And what was my response?
He's
Too boring.
It was boring. I said, "How Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory boring?"
Too boring.
So what do y'all think? Is there a favorite artist of yours that's turned actor, actress that we should really be highlighting in this conversation? Talk to us. We talk back. We talk nice. You can find us on Instagram. We are On The Way Up Show. And you can definitely look at us all day long on Facebook. We are also on YouTube and Facebook at On The Way Up Show.
You know what? Before we wrap it up here, man, there's a couple of people I definitely want to give shout out to from this past weekend.
Okay.
Raina Love 305. Many
Yep.
of you guys know her
Yeah.
from Secret Society. She
Beautiful
was a part
girl.
of the movie that was premiered at the Urban Film Festival this
Reject.
weekend. The Reject.
Yeah.
Amazing movie. Also want to give shout out to the boy Romeo Miller. He did his thing in that film. Want to give shout out to
Keani McGee for having
Keani.
his story told.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Keani is an upcoming actor here from hometown 305. And then, of course, we had...
The mayor came out.
The mayor showed up, definitely. We had also Alex Hibbert from the show Shy was also out there this past weekend. So big ups to everybody that came out to show love to 305. Man, we appreciate it. Thank you guys for an amazing weekend, and we can't wait until next year.
And don't forget, the master was there. The one and only, Mr. Rich Black, was in the building.
Absolutely.
It's
Oh,
all
also a young lady by the name of
Christy.
Christy Sherrill. She was out there. This young lady.
Her
is
movie was
from
premiered.
North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. And I can tell you, man, her movie was premiered there, and we had a great conversation with her yesterday.
Beautiful girl, inside and out.
Amazing. She got
Yeah.
her short films out right now. Please, man, if you are into black creators, this past weekend you missed. If you wasn't there, you missed a lot.
Coach,
Yeah.
and I
and
heard
shout out
one-
to
oh,
Chris
go ahead.
Rutledge too. His movie was premiered. It was the second movie actually, so that's a big deal.
Yeah, and Coach, I heard that one of the movies made you cry. Which one it was?
The Reject.
The reject made me cry like I was a woman.
Listen, I literally had tears coming down my cheek. I couldn't help it.
Lord. It's all right, Coach.
Especially when they killed Romeo, man. I'm like, damn, bro.
No, I don't know if I cried at that part, but there was definitely some relatable parts. But anyway, you guys get a chance to see the reject and let us know what you think. And like I said, talk to us. We talk back. We talk nice, and don't go too far because we're going to be right back with some inspiring word of the day.
There it is. Yeah, we back, y'all, on a Monday, getting ready for it. It's quarter of the day, Coach D. You know how you do it. You're going to make the world stop for a moment and think about it, and then we got to come around the round table. Star, you ready for this?
I stay ready, baby.
Uh-oh, I like
Hey,
that.
you need to stop asking her if she ready, man. She's always ready. So if you're ready, you never got to get ready. You know? At least that's what
You know I'm
learned
ready. I'm
growing
rolling
up,
with
man.
y'all.
Okay. Here you go.
I'm on
now.
the best team.
Hey, man, you know what, man? Today's quote of the days is very simple. Don't feel guilty for doing what's best for you. All right, here it is. All right, I'm going to repeat that again. Don't feel guilty for doing what's best for you. All right, Black, you know what? I did you dirty this past Friday.
You gonna let it? Okay, go ahead.
All right, and I listened to the comment that you made. So you know what? I'm gonna let you set the tone for this one.
Nah, I you know, it's a
Nah,
cheat
you were
code.
crying on Friday, man.
Ooh, dang, crying.
Pause. He is doing way too much on a Monday. He is, and you, I'm not gonna say it. But you,
Yeah, he went in.
yeah, he just jabbed to the kidney.
Yeah.
I think for me, repeat that quote today. What is it again?
Say it again.
Oh man, the quote of the day is very simple. You got to make me repeat it again. Don't feel guilty for doing what's best for you.
Yeah, I just want to make sure the tense how it went, because that's where I am at in my life.
Wow.
I just want to make sure the tense was right, because that's where I'm in my life. It's okay to say no. It's okay to be happy. Right?
Yes, sir.
Some people have this spirit that is afraid to say no. They have the spirit that says, yo, I will always be there to help every person. But you first gotta you first gotta help yourself. I see this quote like they say on the airplane. On the airplane it says, yo, when the mercy mask come down, secure your mask first.
Yeah.
Then you help the person next to you. That's what that quote means to me. You got to look at it that way. You got to be happy about you, do what you got to do for you to better yourself till you can better the next man. Yeah.
Love it.
You did that, Black. You did that. I gotta give you a round of applause on that one. You kind of went there for a little minute.
All right, there you go.
Look at Lady Star. She bobbing her head. She ready.
I agree
Lady
with
Star
it.
is ready, so we're
Yeah.
gonna pass the ball to Lady Star, man. Go ahead and give them what's on your mind.
Listen, I've had personal experiences where I had to take exactly what this quote is saying to heart, that it's okay to want the best for yourself, even if it goes against the common belief about what's best for you. And I think at this time, I probably just want to speak to my moms out there, because moms have it the worst. You know, we are idolized for being martyrs. We're idolized for being 100% selfless all the time.
Yes.
And what we do by doing that is teaching our kids to live for other people as well. So sometimes the best thing we can do as role models, leaders, and as mothers is to show our kids how to put on the mask for themselves first, how to take a mental health break one day and go do something nice for yourself. Mother guilt is real.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
you can't go out and buy something without getting something for the kids. You know, you start feeling away. Yeah, for real, I used to go on vacation and feel terrible. Like, hold on, I got to take the kids, or I'll be right back. And, so it's a process. I understand, if my moms are out there feeling guilty about wanting to take a spa day, I get it. But it's so necessary, because if you don't fill your cup up first, you won't have an overflow to give from. So being selfish is actually a selfless act,
Whoa.
because you can't give what you don't have. And I'm going to leave it at that.
All right. Well, Coach, man, what's going on? What's on your mind?
Well, Coach, you already know it's hard for me to be what we call selfish. Because sometimes I'm the one that always give. I'm the one that always say, I was raised from a big family. I'm one of 11. So I was always taught, make sure everybody eat. Mm-hmm. So when you raise that way, you kind of get that mentality like, I'm going to make sure everybody good. I'm going to make sure everybody good. I'm the guy you can call at 12 o'clock and say, hey, bro, let me get that. I'll be like, sure. But what I realized, though, on the other flip side, when it was my turn to call people, ain't nobody pick up their phone. So now I realize, like, you got to make sure you're good, because sometimes you try to be everything to everyone. And if you don't put up enough for your nest egg when it's your time, you can run into a brick wall. So again, I'm a giver, but I'm a smart giver now. And I need a contract when you borrow my money. No, I'm just playing. That's what I got it from.
You know what, man? I think you guys all, said a lot of great things. But I think I'm always going to bring it back to, business, right?
Yes, sir.
And in business, I always look at things, clear. I'm not selfish or anything, but, I can't mentor anyone if I'm not straight. I can't teach you the game if I haven't run all the plays.
Right.
Or if I am not an expert in the game yet, I can't be a great coach, right? So I always say, take care of me first. What I mean by that is let me learn the game before I can go out there and teach it, right? In order to be a good teacher, you got to be a great student. I say that many times on while we're on the air. It's important to me to make sure that Coach D is at his best in order to help someone out, right? I can't go clean, my kid's eyes if my eyes is still dirty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm always thinking, how can I make myself a better person so I can be of value to others? So it's not selfish.
Right.
It's not selfish. I think it's self-love because I want to see myself at a different level of life before I'm able to, kick the knowledge or even, help someone financially, to come up as well. So for me, it's all about making sure you always put yourself first, no matter what. Even in relationship, you can't love your spouse if you don't love yourself. So for me, it's all about you. It must be about you until you are in a position to help others.
That's deep, Coach. But again, I don't want to disagree with you, but I just understand like the climate of helping your fellow man or whoever. We've been taught that, so it's hard for me. Like, I see people on the corner, they asking for $1. I'm that guy that just.
So you're saying if you have 50 cents and you're willing to give your last 50 cents and to give to somebody else before you help yourself?
No, not my last 50 cents. But
Okay.
I
That's
I
not
may
pocket.
have done that though.
But here's the thing.
I know I'm gonna get it back.
And the reason I say that because I was always taught it's better to be the lender than the borrower. So I always had more than enough. But sometimes when I became selfish, like, I ain't gonna give it to him because then I lost.
No,
So-
I hope you see it that way different, because sometimes there's some people out there that are bloodsuckers, right? There are
Right,
people
they're-
out there.
yeah, they're leeches,
They're
man.
leeches,
They're just leeching off of you.
And you can confuse the leeches for the needy.
There you go. I think that's a good point because, going back to charity and giving back, and you had mentioned people on the street. I know that's not my calling to give back. When people come around and ask for money, I'm not knocking anybody who does. I'm just saying, don't judge me because I don't. That's not what I'm called to do. Especially as a woman, I don't feel like I should be engaging too much and going in my purse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In situations like that. But I also know that I have no attachment if I do give something away to what that's going to do. I'm going to fund the cause of whatever they want, right? But what you're talking about is having discernment about who you're going to share your friendship with, right?
Right.
Because friendship is that reciprocity of the give and the take. If you have someone that's not matching your energy, like you said, you got to get a little, you become a little bit more wiser, and then you make your circle selective according to who you see is matching you. When it comes to doing what's best for you, I'm curious, do you find that the more you become successful, the less people judge you for doing what's best for you? Because I feel like I had it the hardest when I was trying to unlearn a lot of family and cultural beliefs, right? That I had more so on my way up. For example, I hate to take it here, but I'm gonna just tell the truth. I've had family that are on Section 8. Section 8 only allows so many people to live in that household. But if somebody else in the family got kicked out and you got to take them in, somebody with Section 8 would jeopardize their housing by letting another family member in. And if they didn't let that family member in, it was going to be looked at as, they turned their back on the family.
Well, you know what, man?
Y'all gonna open up a can.
I look at things this in many ways, right? I tightened up my circle for that same reason, because you had friends around you only because of status, right? And what hurt me the most is like we were friends before I had status, right? But soon as a little success kicked in, that's when I'm hearing all their problems. My car broke down. I can't get to work. My kids can't get to school, And for me, it was like, okay, how come you didn't have these problems before?
That's interesting. Are you sure they didn't have these problems? Or your response was different.
Well, maybe.
Me too, brother. I ain't got it either.
If we were at the same level, perhaps they probably wouldn't ask me anything, right? But if they notice that there's a slight change in my success, all right, now it's like all their problems.
That's that crab in the bucket. That's the crab in the bucket thing. You got a little something, let's jump onto that. And I guess that was my question. I saw more of that in my younger years growing up and looking at, just other people in my family and saying, okay, I don't want to live like that or be like that. I need to make sure I unlearn some of these cultural beliefs. So do you have that now that you're a grown adult, you're in a different industry?
I stopped it.
Different circle of friends.
I stop it. I don't give people access to me like that. And if you do have access to me, it's because I allow you to have access to me. Certain family members don't have access to me. Friends from back then don't have access to me. I carry two phones. One is my business, one's my personal. Once I put that business away, and if my personal ring is someone who is special to me, it's someone that, like my mom, if my mom calls, she's not calling my business line, she's calling my personal line. If my wife called, well, she's gonna call both to make sure I answer, right?
Right.
But for me, it's I try to separate my personal life and my business life. If you're calling the green phone, we're talking about money. All right. If you're calling my blue phone, then it's possibly just a family member. And not every family member have either of my phone numbers.
That's a great point. So, Black 954, I'm curious what y'all think about this now. What if it is your mom or your dad that is the leech? That always needs something from you, and sometimes parents can feel entitled in that way. They're entitled of your time and your resources, and so and that could be very hard. So what is your advice in that
Black
regard?
Get this one and look at Black face.
Yeah, come on, Sage. We need that wisdom.
At the end of the day, luckily for me, I don't have that problem, right? But I've seen friends, colleagues that their mom is always in need, always embattled, and they're there, right? And because of that, their trajectory's been thrown off because of their parent. I have friends and colleagues who have brothers and sisters the same way. You know what I'm saying? Siblings that they need to put the car in your name, right? They need to put they need to put this trip on your credit card. You know what I'm saying? And then they don't pay their insurance, so now your driver's license gets suspended.
Right.
Right. Or they're not paying the bill on the credit card, and now you need to go get you need to do something, and you don't have the credit on your car because Barbara did not pay what she's supposed to pay on the 15th of 6 months ago.
And the crazy thing is, if you address that, Black, it becomes a problem. All right, now you're the crab.
Right.
Right. Or Black is different.
Well, he acting like that.
Yeah,
I hate
all that now.
I hate the answer. The answer to that is like, Shit, you know I didn't have it when you lent it to me. What?
Yeah, if somebody ever gave me that answer, bro, you cut off.
You right. I remember that next time. You right. I've had that situation going back to that car scenario you gave. I let my older sister shout out. We got over it. We in love now. It's no big thing. But at the time, when I moved here to Florida, my car was back at home in Alaska, and I let her drive it. She didn't have to pay the note. I was paying the note. I just wanted her to handle the insurance. Man, she let her dude drive this car. I don't know who driving this car, but they got parking tickets all up the yang on my car, and I had to come sneak in the middle of the night. Go sneak up on her in the middle of the night, get into her house. Thankfully, one of the grandkids opened the door, and I had to come in and get my keys. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
You see what happens when you give and not knowing the discernment of who you're giving to. Now that becomes a burden. I don't play them kind of games.
But you know what, man? I have brothers, man, and I'm just so thankful and grateful that, you know, my brothers never came to me and says, hey, Pete, lend me something. And I never had to go to them and say, yo, lend me something. Because knowing those brothers that I have, it's not lending, it's giving.
Right. My mom said never lend what you can't afford to lose.
Facts. That's a great advice.
Yeah.
It's a great advice.
But you know, at the end of the day, and I guess just because I come from a big family, my grandfather taught me one rule. He said, you can always borrow it if you pay me back.
Word.
So that's been my mentality for a long time. So the money situation, I always had it to lend it. But when people didn't pay me back,
then you can't get no more.
They can't get no more. So that's been my rule. So, yeah, hey, family, if y'all need some money, call Black. He got plenty of money.
I'm not giving you nothing. I don't think you heard. I don't think you heard what I was saying. I'm not giving you nothing.
Oh man, I was about to say, let me hold some. No, if you guys are in a situation where you got family members or anybody who wants to borrow money and you feel a little shaky about it, have them go to the app Solo. Okay, that is an app where you can lend money out or borrow money at a negotiated interest rate, and if that person doesn't pay you back, it actually goes on their credit report. So it might be a little bit of an incentive.
So low. I'm gonna go look that up right now.
That is so low. If I have to do that to you.
Low. If you so low, baby, get that app, download it now, and you can borrow or lend money today.
And that's what's up.
On that note, this segment is being brought to you by Ace Magazine. We appreciate the sponsorship.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Yo, what it do? It's your Doom City friendly monsters with Today Local News. All right, today local news, we're going to dive in a little bit into hip-hop. Puerto Rican reggaeton star Anula and Fabio Foreign attended Donald Trump's recent rally in Pennsylvania. All right, so hey, remember now at the Democratic National, what is it called?
Convention, yes,
the DNC. They had a bunch of celebrities showing up.
Okay.
You know, Don Shudo was there. You know, quite a bit of celebrities showed up. So now, Uncle Donald is taking a playbook from the DNC.
Okay.
All right. So now he's getting reggaeton artists to show up. Hip hop artists like Fabio Foreign showed up to his rally yesterday in Pennsylvania. So they're doing their thing right now, and they're actually saying they want Trump to win.
Yeah.
You know, so man, big ups to them.
You know, we're gonna leave that right there.
You know what? Some of these hip hop stars, they care more about the money. It's all about the money right now, and they believe that they were in better shape when Trump was in power. So therefore,
yeah, I get that. I actually don't have a lot of beef with some of the agenda on the Republican Party. I think I've said this before. I just don't get with the mascot, so that's all. But I understand the other side. Trump hasn't said anything I haven't heard another man say before, to be honest, in a locker room conversation. So he could just be a normal person like everybody else, but he just doesn't have the decorum that, somebody in leadership that, we would want.
No, I completely agree, but, local musician from Pompano Beach, Kodak Black, also endorse Donald Trump.
Well, we know why he did that.
No, we of
Yeah.
course we
Yeah.
know why he did
Their
that.
brother helped him
100%.
out. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But Donald
Absolutely.
Trump got him out of jail, right?
Yeah, that's why.
Oh,
That's why.
okay,
That's why
okay.
he's gonna be on Donald Trump's corner
Forever.
Yeah.
forever. I mean, trust me. If you get me out of jail, I
Yeah,
would probably
that's-
I would probably be your friend too.
And Coach
Right,
954,
right.
you know, you say this all the time. Who I am in public and on radio is a character. Judge me by what I do. I'm my real honest person. You say I'm a family man, and that's how people perceive Trump as well. He's a character in one way, but if you judge him by his actions, so well, I'm not gonna say all his actions, but in this case with Kodak Black, you know, he helped that man out.
Yeah,
He sure
but
did.
but I'm saying when you talking about the politics side of it,
The politics side, he passed the farm bill, which was very beneficial for me at this point, since recreational weed, that agenda didn't get pushed. So now using the farm bill, I can still have an online dispensary legally, and it was Trump that signed that.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying how they use these moments to, leverage it at the end so I can pardon you. That's all I'm saying. I'm good. I understand. You did me a favor, I'm gonna do you a favor.
Exactly. Exactly.
I gotta say, Trump did not know that by pardoning Kodak, that his endorsement 4 years later would be helpful. You know what I'm saying? I think it was a money move to get Kodak out, and a part of that's part of the dues.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I got you out, you gave me a couple of dollars, and now I need you to stand next to me. You might have to hug me. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. I think I understand it.
Hey man, you could get me out. I could shake your hand, but I'm not hugging you.
But see, listen, oh Lord. See, if I got a problem with you,
Pause.
if it's that serious, like first of all, I don't have a problem with anybody. I just don't think he's the appropriate leader. Like I said, he doesn't have the decorum or the diplomacy or even a really articulate conversation. But if I honestly had something against him in my heart, I wouldn't even let him help me out. How you gonna let somebody help you out and you can't hug them?
I hear you. Hey man, I got some more exciting news, man.
All right. On to some better things.
Grammy Award winner Adele announced a break from music after her residency in Vegas. Yeah, she's taking a break, man. She's actually, man, I think she's getting ready to get married here real soon.
Rich Paul, my guy.
man. Rich Paul hit it big with that one.
Love.
You know what I'm saying? I think love is making her.
Wait a minute. That's a good question. Did Rich Paul hit it big, or did Adele hit it big?
Are you serious?
Rich Paul he's part owner of Clutch Sports.
I understand that.
Clutch Sports he gotta have some money over there.
I didn't say he didn't have money, but you're also talking about Adele.
You think his money's stronger than hers?
I think her money is longer than his.
Okay.
Hopefully
you know,
they lucky to have each other. That's the kind of relationship I want. I want it to
Yeah,
be a
she
win-win.
ended her residency this past Saturday night in Vegas.
Oh, well, listen, I'm not mad at her. I saw her in Vegas. I went out there and seen her in Vegas, and her residency is dope. I think Adele, the way she sings, she has to take a break. Like the level of vocal cord, understanding, playing with her voice, she got to take a break. You can't do that like 70 days of the year, 150 days of the year, or 250 days of the year. You gotta take a break. You know what I'm saying? You got to. I think it's I think it's a good move, and especially if she's in love.
She's
you know,
in love.
Yeah, I think
That's I think 80% of that
It's
decision
love.
had to do with
Yeah.
Rich Paul.
Yeah.
You know,
her weight loss is Rich Paul.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how you know that's a good thing
Did you see
over
what
there.
she bought her stepdaughter for her
no.
graduation?
No, what did she get her?
Man, it was a nice car, man.
See,
It was a nice car.
Yeah, see?
I think it was like I want to say it was a Maybach. Please don't quote me on that,
Yeah.
but I know she bought her like
nice,
top of the line vehicle for her graduation.
Nice,
So,
nice.
hey man, hey.
So she not gonna be the evil stepmom, huh?
No, I don't think so at all. You know what, man? I'm gonna say a joke that I've learned when I was young. Right, my dad says, if you want to live right, you date white.
No.
No, he didn't. No, he did not.
Wait a minute.
If you want your credit to go whack, you date black.
Oh damn! Well,
Yeah. Listen. One of the
It's a joke. Okay,
I know, you purposely did a
like
joke,
I
I
made
got
it.
it.
I made it clear. It's a joke.
Yo, one of the documentaries that I saw this weekend at the Urban Film Festival was about that, about Latin Afro Americans, and their challenges about dating black, right? And some Latin people, Dominicans, they have this name called Negrega. I'm going to get the word, but
Amara Negreta, right?
right,
Negrega.
yeah, right. So it's like it's the black of like the Spanish word, like
Dark skin
Spanish,
Latinos.
yeah, right.
oh, negrita.
Yeah, negrita.
Oh,
right,
okay.
right,
For a female?
Right.
Sure.
So
Or negrito, for
right,
or morena.
Right. So
Moreno.
it's a document about a young lady who documented that she is a dark skinned a Dominican, and her rest of her family don't see themselves as dark skinned, but they're all dark skinned, right? And that when she was dating, she dated a young African American dude, and her father kicked the man out, like, get out of here.
Wow.
And at 95, her grandmother, dark as me, did not see herself as dark. Didn't want to be called dark. She thought she was. She married light or white. You know what I'm saying? To perpetuate the concept, and then that's just a thing in that community. So
Yeah, colorism is real, and it's real in every culture. And both exist in Latin culture. You have that colorism that Black was talking about, but you also have the celebration of color as well. Like Costa Rica, they have a celebration for people of color.
Panama,
Colombia, you know. So it's just like here in America.
That's
you know?
huge. That's huge. All right, guys, and sad news.
Uh-oh.
All right,
Here it
we lost a pioneer in the hip hop industry. My boy Fat Man Scoop.
Fat Man Scoop.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Rest in
sorry.
peace, Fat Man Scoop.
Yeah.
He passed. He actually fainted. We all thought it was from the video that I seen. I thought he passed out during his show. They were performing CPR in backstage, and shortly after, they announced that he passed away. So
At a performance?
DJ.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, he was at an event.
That's
so
sad.
our condolences go to Fat Man Scoop friends and family, and man, he's gonna be missed. He's gonna be missed for sure.
And listen, I don't know if you guys remember, but he was one of the 4 DJs that used to rock the tunnel, and 3 of those 4 DJs passed away. Big shout out to Big Cap, who was the original program director for Highly Unique Radio. He passed away. He was Biggie Smalls' DJ. Then you had K Slay, passed away a few years ago. Fat Man Scoop. The only one that's left is Funkmaster Flex.
Well, Fat Man Scoop had a lot to do with Timberland and Magoo career. He actually boosted up their careers, and just to hear Timberland coming out and just
Faith Evans too.
absolutely. So he did a lot for hip hop culture, and man, we appreciate the art that he brought out, the music that he helped us to love hip hop.
Vibe to,
Right?
yeah.
Remember, we're
Right.
celebrating 50 years of hip hop. Fat Man Scoop had a lot to do with that, so we appreciate it, brother. Man.
Listen, them dudes had the mixtape game on Smash back then. You know what I'm saying? So, R.I.P. to the great Fat Man Scoop. R.I.P. to the great Big Cap and K Slay. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop continues. DJs continue.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, that's your news of the day. We'll be right back after these music.
Let's do it. Yeah, it's your boy Coach 954, man. This was a good week kicking off college football, man. Them Canes came out big and they did what they needed to do. And the great thing about college football, they have now decided they're going to go to a 12-team playoff system. So that lets me know that the Hurricanes got a big shot of getting in. So, what about the... Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Y'all starting already. Just start what you think about them Canes. Start.
I didn't actually get a chance to see the game.
They're green and orange.
Of course, we know that much.
Or orange and
What's
green.
up, you?
But Coach,
But,
stop now, cause Florida State played tonight against Boston College, and again, they played tonight. That's the great thing about it. I root for Florida State. I didn't mean for the Canes to do the Gators like that. It just happened.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it yet. Don't ruin it too much for me. But go ahead, talk about it.
Oh yeah, it was just good. But the whole college game week was amazing. I mean, with some great games. You had Notre Dame playing Texas A&M. This is the time of year where you see the energy and the fun of what I like to call community. It's nothing like the
for
college
sure.
experience compared to
Absolutely.
the pro experience.
I love it, Coach. And I'm gonna throw a little curve at you here, man. What happened to Coach Prime's team?
Well, Coach Prime, I wanted to talk about that too. Coach Prime, he was tested, but again, he prevailed at the end. North Dakota State, they have shocked a lot of big Powerhouse 5 teams. So for him to get to that point, well, I should say his team, where they didn't get that embarrassment of losing the game 1, it's a long season.
It was a tough game.
Yeah.
It was a tough game.
Yeah, but guess what, Coach? One thing about Coach Prime, and this is one of my talking points, and I'm gonna go to the next thing. Travis Hunter and Shador, they went off. But one thing Coach Prime said, he said he has a favorite child. So the question is to Lady Star, do you have a favorite child?
No.
No. You Coach D, what about you?
Nah, I love my boys equally, man.
Yeah, and they're all different. Like they all have like a different aspect.
I know
they
Black you
come
only
together
have
and make
one,
the
but Black.
household.
I want you. I was gonna say, yeah, I do got one. I got one favorite child.
Black, I know you got one, but do you believe? Because you're a master of the minds. Do you believe that goes on in households?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
that,
all the time.
I think there is a hierarchy to it. You know what I'm saying? I think there's going to be a child in everyone's household. A parent is going to give more to because he or she needs that extra push or
support
or that fence around them, and there's gonna be a child that he good. She don't need me to do extra stuff, right? Do that mean that the one who gets coddled more is the favorite? No, that's the one that's more needy than the other.
Right.
I don't.
Now that's true. Cause go ahead. Okay. No, I was just gonna say from my personal experience, coming up, I felt that way. Right, I have some younger siblings, and I felt like my mom, like you said, was coddling or giving more attention. And I actually talked to my mom about it because I talked to my mom about everything, and she said, "Oh well, Takara, I never worried about you." She says, I never worry about you. I said, well, Dad, you can call that's how I'm doing. And there was a time she used to call me and immediately before she could even say, hi, have you talked to your sister? I'm like, well, dang, Mom, I'm doing good. How are you? You know?
Right.
So parents, be mindful out there. I know you got some independent kids out there doing good, and they need love too.
Yeah, I think so. I think they need to have that. You got to show them. You got to show them that love equally. I do it. Same with Mello, and Cam. Cam is more independent. Mello is the one that you have to be on top of him for everything, homework, taking a shower, everything, right? But Mello is also the one that's more affectionate, Kamari's more so like, I'm a grown man now, so no affectionate. The only time he talks if he needs something. Mello will pop up in the room and see what we're doing, hop in the bed and lay with us. So, but that doesn't, mean that, I show more attention, pay more attention to Mello or treat him differently from Cam. I don't do that at all. I treat both of my boys the same. If I go buy Cam a pair of shoes, Mello get a pair of shoes. If Cam get a shirt, Mello get a shirt. I don't ever want my kids to think that Dad love me more than my siblings.
No, I think what happens is that I don't think kids think you love them you more or whatever. It's just a different kind of love. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think what in your situation, what may happen is one may know if I need a loan, I can go to dad get the loan. Other will know if I need some moral support or a pat on the back, I'll go to him. But they all know you love them, you know what I'm saying? But they'll know
Different kind of treatment.
different kind of treatment, and it's not like, oh, I'm special to you. One may know I may never need money from my pops, so I'm never going. I'm going to give him money. But one may say, yo, I'm an entrepreneur. I might need to start a business or open a hotel or whatever. I know pops is going to front me the bread to make that journey a little bit simpler. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is.
Right.
So so it's not about who loves more. I think just knowing, yo, my pops is there for whatever smoke I'm on, he got me, and I think that's all that really have to matter.
Right. See, and in more sports news, we're getting down to the roster of 52.
Wait, you gonna answer that, brother? You got a favorite?
You listen. You always trying to see. I'm trying to,
He's trying to bounce out of
I
that.
just wanted to get you
Okay,
involved.
he trying to bounce out of that. Oh, wow.
Stop being quick on her feet. I'm
Oh,
over
you
here
trying to
run.
bounce out of
I'm trying
that.
to move the
That's whack.
segment on to the coaches.
Wow.
But
Answer that.
here's my
you
rule.
got you got kids. How many kids? Name them all. Name them all.
I have 5 and 8 3 and makes it the 8 in bonus. So
Okay, so boom.
so
what
did
we
you
doing?
catch what I just said?
Yeah, the bonus.
I got 5 and 3 bonus. That makes 8.
Yeah.
But what I realized, what I realized, the way I treat my kids, I identify with the spirit. So when I say that, if they have the same spirit like me, they're giving. I'm quite naturally, they're all adults now, so I gravitate to that more. Cause some of my kids, they might just call when they want something. So I'm like, nah, you don't call when you don't need, and not in a bad way. But my children, they have a sense of entitlement. So they're like, Daddy, you supposed to just do it. I'm like, no, you grown now. You supposed to do something for Daddy. So that's the kind of relationships that I have. But I love them all the same. But I let them know, like, now it's reciprocal, if that's a good word to use for your kids. Was that a good answer, Black?
Nah, it's trash. But we'll go with that.
Yeah, we gonna let you
was
ride on
trash.
that. But the
That
thing
was
was
trash.
favorite. The question was favorite, not love. Because I think obviously we love all our kids the same.
Word.
But based off a kid's temperament, you might have a favorite.
Yeah. But like I said, I would never say it on air.
Oh, okay.
But I think it in my mind. But back to but and here's the other thing, because we're down now to the 53-man roster.
52,
53, coach.
54.
But here's the question, coach. Coaches now are being judged on how they run the locker room. The question that I have for the panel: should we be judged on how we run our household?
Yep.
Yeah, coaches have always been judging how they. What's something new? What you mean?
No, I put the twist on it. I want to know, should we judge these parents on how their household look?
Listen, I'm not gonna put judgment on any of my fellow, people. My business. I just know what I prefer for my household. What I'm gonna do for mine. I can look at what you're doing and say, okay, yeah, I don't want to do that, but that don't mean that it's not working for you.
No, the question is, I think you missed the question.
Okay.
A head coach is judged on what goes on in that locker room. If that locker room is chaotic, nobody's getting along, he has to do something about that locker room or he loses his job.
Right.
So when we see these kids, some of them are
Robbing, stealing, raping, shooting.
Yeah. Black
right?
Black gave it to you wrong.
Right.
All
So,
right. Yo,
So
Black.
is that
Black.
a reflection on the parents? Is that
this
what you're
the thing.
asking? Yeah.
How could that be a reflection of the parents? If my son go out there and go rob somebody, I didn't tell him to do that. I didn't teach him to do that.
But you
This is
raised him, Coach. It's your locker room.
I raised them. You're right, but I raised my kids with moral respect. Right now, if he goes out there and goes stealing, that's on him. That's a decision that he made. That's not something that he learned in my home.
What I'm saying, okay, that's a good start. That's a good start, right? I want to add this dive into the caveat of it. If you and let's go back in the 80s, right, when the parents were on crack and all that, right? So these kids now didn't have a family or situation, and they became menaces, right? And if you have one bad seed, I don't think it spoils the bunch. And when it comes to a house, but if your whole family, all your kids have this predatory discernment, right? You got to go back and say something was wrong in the rearing of that kid.
Yeah, so but I think both is true here, right? Because I've been exposed to, like you were saying, parents on drugs and selling drugs. Kids turn out fine just the same. You know, some don't, some do, right? So it's not always a guarantee. You can raise your kids right, like Coach D was saying, and they still could get an addiction and go off and do all kind of crazy things that you didn't raise them to do. And on the same token, there's been terrible parents that have had amazing kids and have overcome those challenges.
100%. I'm one of those kids. I'm one of those kids that my mom thought was, I was making my way to being a street dude, right?
Yes.
Like she always labeled that. She labeled me that, like, you're just gonna be nothing, right? But I turned out better than all of her children.
But the question, and I like how you said that.
I would say your siblings.
Yeah.
know
I
you
love
better,
my
babe.
siblings, but I know
but again-
I know that I wanted to prove her wrong.
Yeah, but I think that's a different question, right, than what he's asking. I think he's asking if your kids become men. Like, again, I think that what the question really is posing to is, should the government sanction you as a parent if your kids do something crazy?
Oh,
No.
absolutely. Yeah, up until the age 18, yes. And you guys, there's a law for this. So parents can be charged for their children's behavior if they fail to exercise reasonable care or control over their child. This is called parental culpability law. And most cases involve lower level matters like skipping school or damaging property, right?
And this
So-
is why the government should have less power when it comes to parenting.
But coach,
You know what? I
what
think
I'm
it just-
saying, and it's going back to the original question, because we all fans of sports. So this man is commanding 53 grown men to get along in a locker room, and you can't get that in your household. That was the question. So I'm questioning the leadership of the parents, that these kids don't buy in like the pros bought in. So your kids should buy into your system.
I agree to that for an extent, but like Black said, there can be a wild card. That one bad apple, so to speak, doesn't ruin the bunch, but you can't control if your child ends up having a mental health issue or, like I said, gets addicted or for whatever reason wants to just take an alternative route to life.
Right.
No,
Right.
I just put it out there in the air. It was just a little sports talking and putting it all together, but that's why I wanted to ask the leaders.
But you
Oh.
are legally responsible for your children up until the age 18. If
No,
your
we're
child is not
we're
going to
legally
school,
responsible
do
for
something
these
about
kids. If
that.
they're not going to school, you're absolutely right. Why are you not going to school?
Mm-hmm.
And then we need to find alternative to make sure that you're pursuing your education. But if a child goes out there and he goes into the local corner store and he start robbing them, that has nothing to do with what's happening at home. That's
it
just
may or may not. It may or may not. See, the reason why I'm rolling with you on this is because going back to what we were talking about earlier about having a lot of parental guilt. Moms have a lot of guilt about how their kids turn out because they do feel like it's a reflection on how they raised their kids, and they probably didn't raise their child to do some of the things that their children are doing. But there's another side to this that's equally true. A lot of our kids out here are running amok because of the lack of parenting or the type of parenting that they're experiencing. I think both are true.
Right, but you just read what the government want, right? But the government is also enabling parents to be parents. Like when I was growing up, my parents could whoop my behind.
Man, get over that.
You know what I'm
That's not
saying?
the only way you can raise a child. And
what
listen,
do you mean?
if
Get
you
over
beating your child right, they not picking up the phone. No
What
joking.
do you mean? I'm not a fan of beating them, but I'm just saying they put a limitation on how you can raise your child, because that child already knows thus far they have power. They have power over you, because if you punish them, they could go back to school and make up a story, and guess who's knocking at your door?
Listen, I think those are almost like, I won't say champagne problems, but you maybe somebody who's in their right mind who can, you know, rear their kids properly might find that to be a problem. But I don't think it's 100% bad. I do think we've had parents that lock their kids in their trunk.
Well, I'm
You know?
gonna go ahead on to the last topic of the day because I'm gonna show you how powerful the owners are. They took the golden child, Tom Brady, who is now a part owner, and they told Tom,
He's
if
the part owner of what, Coach?
part owner of a team of the Las Vegas
Raiders?
Raiders, yes. Part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. And the owners told him, because you took that job with Fox, there's certain things that you cannot do, Tom. You cannot interview the players, the coaches. You can't have your influence in that realm, or you're going to have to give up ownership.
Conflict of interest. Is that what
That's
is?
nothing new.
Yes, but what
Yeah.
I'm saying is,
Jay-Z had the same problem when he owned the Brooklyn Nets.
okay, Jay-Z, okay, so what? Here's the thing. The owners set a standard that they're not going to budge on. That's my point of when we set a standard, you change your dynamic in your household, but you got to set a standard.
Okay.
I like it.
All right?
Yeah, no, I believe in good parenting now. I definitely believe in that. I'm just saying every child that quote unquote does something wrong isn't always a reflection of that parent, but
Thank you.
a lot of times it is. So I think both is true. I think both is true.
Yeah, and you know Tom Brady, he was able to do anything he wanted while he was in the league. But now that he's the owner,
Yeah,
you
well,
got to abide by the rules.
Yeah, but that rule though that rule is set. I think you on it, but that's a very cheap mode statement because that rule is so to keep competitiveness fair. See,
Right.
Tom Brady as a journalist, right, or as on TV, he'll be able to talk to all players at any given time, and they can get to know who he is, and he can sway them to yo, you know, we do better. You ain't getting paid over there on the Rams. We just we paying all I got top dollar next year. A player was like, yo, I want to play with that.
Right.
So
Create biasm.
yeah, so what they doing is taking that out of it. Like, yo, listen, it only you can do is just call the games.
That's it.
Don't start fraternizing with them on a one-on-one because they call that conclusion, right? Tell me, I forgot the term, the word. I'm getting
Yeah,
Conversion?
hang with you.
See, that
Hang
is-
with you.
that-
Hang with you.
Y'all
Hang
see
with
Black
you.
World Star with me.
Hanging
Yeah,
with
So
you.
right there, y'all. That you has been sports with Coach 954 talking live, talking sports, and giving y'all the good news. And we'll be right back with the culture conversation.
Yeah, baby. Good morning. Good morning. You know, we got those culture conversations for you. How is everyone doing? I see y'all smiling and ready to start talking in your Takara Star voice.
Go ahead, Coach D. You take it first, cause you know this music done changed. It's showtime, Coach. I know.
What do you want me to talk about
Look,
today?
see, I already knew y'all was on it.
You know, Toxic gonna come out today. Black, you ready for this, Black?
Hey, let's do it, man.
I am
hey,
here
Star.
for it. I am here for every moment of it.
Are you here? Let's do it, Star.
Yeah. 5 breaths in, 5 breaths out.
All right, y'all.
All right.
It's ladies' night because the ladies are bringing the question to the table. This is where we get into the part where you got to speak from your heart. We call this culture conversations. So what's on your mind today,
Absolutely.
Miss Lady Star?
Well, you know, being that we went to the Urban Film Festival over the weekend and we saw that great premiere of The Reject,
Yes, we did.
that movie line was amazing insight into what a family can undergo when you are raising children that have been diagnosed with a learning or behavior disability of some sort, right? And I want to share a clip from, so for those who have not seen the movie yet, it's based on a real life story of the Miami commissioner and Howard graduate, Kiani McGee. Kiani was diagnosed to be borderline retarded. His IQ was 78, and he experienced a lot of challenges in school. In fact, he had to switch schools a couple times. He even got into a lot of fights and whatnot.
3 times.
Yeah, 3 times he switched schools because of some of his learning challenges. But his mom, thank God, never gave up on him. And because of her unwavering support and his dedication to pursue education, he became a lawyer, which was something he wanted to be as a child.
Oh, that's nice.
And
nice
now
story.
it's beautiful story. And he's asking that in light of this movie that we keep the movement going and bring awareness to neurodiversity. So I'd like to share a little clip from Mr. McGee, Kiana McGee, in regards to that. And then we can open up the discussion.
You say neuro. Give me that again.
Neurodiversity, and we're gonna talk about what that is.
There's so many new words coming into play. Mr.
You,
Black,
you know
ever
you're always
heard?
gonna learn something.
Yeah, you ever heard of that neurodiversity, Mr. Black?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you have your masters in
Psychology.
Yes. So help me out with a little bit of neurodiversity.
You're about to hear a little bit about it right now.
See that Coach D don't want me to learn that.
Well, we're actually I'll break it down to you, and I know Black can share it as well. I just wanted to share this highlight. So Kiana McGee had the opportunity to share a speech with all of us who watched the premiere at the end of the movie, and this is his like call to action. And so I just wanted to share this with our listeners so they can get on board with us. All right.
Coach.
That many of us don't want to be in. So my challenge to each and every last one of you saw this movie, The Reject. The Reject is a celebration of the movement that we're beginning. We're going to take back our kids and put them in the right position. As your kids and parents. And it's not about black or white or Hispanic or Asian. It's just doing the right thing. See, kids who have kids and young men and young women who have kids, sometimes society finds a way to tell us to fit in. Well, it's really not about fitting in, it's about standing out. And that's what we're doing with this movie. We're empowering kids and people all across this nation. That is no longer your idea to fit in. You must stand out.
Yes, I like that. Standing out. Now again, you know this right here, right in my wheelhouse, talking about my kids and picking on my kids.
Right.
Okay. I'm feeling it now.
Yeah, I thought you would love this because this is in alignment with what you preach, and I
Yes.
agree. We have to be really mindful about what we tell our kids who they are and who we allow our kids to listen to, right?
Yes.
About who they are. So just to break down a little bit about neurodiversity, I'll read this here. It says neurodiversity refers to the natural diversity of human minds. So as Black and I were discussing earlier, everyone's brain is unique as everyone's fingerprint is. But those nuances are generally so minute that we all tend to process the world somewhat similar, and we would be considered neurotypical. The majority of the population, I guess you would say. But there are cases where the brain has differences that are not as minute. They're more noticeable, right? And this is where neurodiversity comes in. So it goes on to say that neurodivergence, let me bring it back here. Neurodivergence simply means having a brain that diverges from what is typical, a brain that functions differently to what is considered to be the norm, okay, or aka neurotypical brain. This includes how the person learns, processes information, interprets feelings and actions, and so on. Neurodivergence can be acquired or inherited, okay? Yep, and so because this is somewhat new as far as like bringing more so awareness, there isn't a solid statistical number about how much of our population is neurodiverse. It can literally range anywhere. They're saying from 1 to 44% of the population. That's how vast it is. So if we just took that down the middle and we said about 20 to 30% of our world is neurodivergent, then I think this definitely causes a need for us to become more aware and then create a society that is more supportive to those who are neurodiverse. What do y'all think?
I just believe that, every child is created equal, and, it's hard for me to, at that early age when, they're a sponge, you don't know what that child is going to potentially blossom into. But if you put a label on that child, now you put them in a box. So I'm always for, you know, I understand it, like the terms and why the doctors or the teachers have labeled them certain things, but I just say give a kid a chance. That's me.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that, Coach. Just because a child is born with certain disability doesn't mean that they cannot, excel in life. And I believe that at times we do label them and put them in a box, and as certain kids, man, once you label them, they're staying there for life. I have a cousin of mine who is, mentally challenged, and he is now 38 years old. But because, he's been babied his entire life because of his disability, now as an adult, he still functions as if he was only an 8-year-old child. And that's because they put him in that box. And I always said to myself, if he was living with me, he would be working right now. He would be socializing with people, instead of just always being locked inside of the house. And the only time he goes out is when he's going out with, my sister or my mother who had him, since he was 4 or 5 years of age, and I just feel like we shouldn't label kids and just keep them in that box, because I see the effect. I mean, just from my personal experience.
Yeah.
The thing about this is that it's the government, right? And science that allows for us to have all these different spectrums of people, right? If you believe in Darwinism, right? Darwinism says that, the strongest will survive.
Okay.
Right? So let's go back to medieval times. If you were born with a lead foot, or if you were born with all these disabilities, you weren't supported enough for you to survive.
Right.
So you end up dying off. So we wouldn't have these things, lingering on.
Well, Black, just to put a little pin in that though, because so you can actually, going back to what Coach D was saying, have a successful life being neurodivergent, and you might not even know. We're now identifying these type of differences and nuances within the brain, right? But what I'm learning is that these things are usually passed down. They're inherited. So we have had an ancestor, our big mama, and all of them have probably had some type of, neurodivergency within our blood. We probably had some of that in our bloodline, and we just didn't know. It shows up so different. And there's something called neurodivergent masking. And so that's when someone, in coping with their differences, mask or pretend to be neurotypical in order to fit in with society. And that's some of what Mr. McGee was trying to highlight, is that because of the way society is, we do feel a pressure to fit in as opposed to being our unique, different selves. But so being neurodiverse is such a broad term. It covers things right now as far as dyslexia, ADHD, Tourette syndrome, being bipolar, a lot of our mental health that we're seeing, autism. And the truth is that you can have a successful life, with or without diagnosis. A lot of people have found their own coping mechanisms to survive and to have kids and have a somewhat successful life. I just wanted to put that in there, because you're not doomed when you're considered to be neurodiverse. And I think that's what I hope to bring today in this conversation, that we don't want to label our kids and put them in a box. We do want to identify their unique differences so that we can provide the right type of support, because not only are we providing resources to those who are neurodiverse, but they can provide resources back to the community, because successful living is an absolute possibility. And with the right support, they do give back to the community, and they become people like Keone McGee, who's now the commissioner of Miami.
Now, Mr. McGee, his mother was the inspiration that really molded him after they gave up on him in the story.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I when we watched the preview of the movie yesterday, you know, the church gave up on him. You know, I wouldn't say the church, but members of the church gave up on him because the pastor was there to support as well. His mom was a big supporter. The teachers gave up on him. You know, and it took his last move to his last school where he found a coach that believed in him as much as his mother believed in him. You know, and he found a girlfriend that believed in him
And
as
helped
much as
tutor
his
him.
mother believed in him.
Right.
And it took those three individuals to make that type of change in his life, which led him to become the commissioner, which led him to become a Howard grad, right? So again, it
prosecutor.
it took
Yeah.
three folks to help him realize that don't handicap yourself based on how they labeled you. You are more than that. You are better than that. And they showed them, push yourself through it. And if you push yourself through it, you can get through that. And that's what we need to do for these kids. Most of the time, labeling them and just saying, well, they got a SLD, slow learning disability. All right, let's put them in slow learning disability classes, right? And let's make sure we're teaching them third grade assignments in the 8th grade. And the system is the one that's holding these kids back.
Yes,
You know?
I agree. And that's how you know, so how do we take that same tenacity when it comes to when they get to be an adult and now, you know, they're functioning adults? Because sometimes that's when it gets hard. Because
Right.
when you get to a certain age, you know what everybody say, you ain't gonna get that same love that you.
That's a great point because ADD and ADHD do not show up in adults the same way that it shows up in children. And this is why I think it is important to identify your unique differences because there are resources out there. I had a brother-in-law who actually was managing bipolar, but it wasn't until he was officially diagnosed that he was able to get assistance with employment and assistance with housing because there are support systems that are out there. And I think it goes back to what Coach D was saying as far as community. We need to be more educated about what neurodiversity looks like so that we can better identify it so we can provide the right type of approach. So going back to the police force, right? The police was a aspect of this movie as well. So I'm not going to give all the movie away. You guys got to go see it. But our police force needs to be trained in how to recognize people who are managing mental health and any type of neurodiversity. Because going back to an adult, they said one of the key signs you can see someone that might be struggling with diversity, is a lack of being able to keep full-time employment. If you look at their employment history, that they usually won't be able to keep a job or they won't hold the jobs that are actually true to the full potential that you know this person has. You'll meet someone, you know they're a great person. You can tell, you know, they're smart and wonderful, but they're not holding and retaining the jobs that could really maximize that potential for them. And so that's a sign that, you know, it usually takes until adulthood where you can have that time lineage to see how well they're doing with employment. But you know, there's a lot of signs that you can help identify. But I think going back to the key is to identify and then creating that community. The girlfriend helped tutor. So going back to our failing school systems, I think that, you know, we need to create classrooms in schools just like we have private schools now. We need to have special schools for different type of learning types. Instead of making it like a bad thing, we just need to be more supportive and inclusive.
Absolutely. And I think as far as labeling it as a bad thing, I think we as a culture labeled it as a bad thing. You know, when you look at other cultures, when you have kids who are struggling with certain Down syndrome, these parents are doing the most, you know, to assist them, right? They're taking them to different specialists or, like you said, start putting them in a private school instead of the public school system where they're going to have that one-on-one with the teachers, right? Where the teachers are not overwhelmed. We already know that our public school system is not the best system for kids with Down syndrome. We know that. And that's why here in Broward County, coach, and I think you and I, we mingle with these coaches and these teachers all the time, and we know that the private school will cater more to children with Down syndrome compared to the public school, because the public school do not have the financial backings
And the tools.
to help educate these kids.
Yeah.
I agree. And I think as a parent, once you can identify what's going on with your child, educating your friends and your family about, whatever your child is experiencing is also highly important. I think back to a mutual friend of Coach 954 and I, Mr. Albert Gibbs, great father, passed away, and his daughter has autism. In fact, my daughter's best friend also is autistic. And because of the awareness that was brought to us, we know how to better handle and manage things. I remember we were in a public setting with Albert's daughter, and, the mom asked for all of us not to clap our hands.
Right.
Because there's a sensory sensitivity in this case, right? So we all, we waved our hands, or politely, silently snapped our fingers. So there's ways that we can support, individuals with these unique differences that, I think is beneficial in the long run.
Yeah, I think the science behind this whole conversation is that you have to bring awareness on a larger scope.
Absolutely.
Back to Coach D's point, why public schools are not good for situations like this, because they don't have the money to break down to different sections. They, I remember going to elementary school, and you had in each grade you had the 4 classes. So you had the class with all the elite kids were in, the ones who were super smart,
Right.
in the 5th grade class, and then you had the one that was they were great kids. They were smart, but they just weren't as fast. Then you had the other class, the 3rd class, which was the one who had the attention difficulty. They had the ones who had played too much. They weren't the slow kids. They were
Right.
who had a little more. They got more jokes. They cutting up a little bit more. And then you had the other class where, in that class, that teacher was in hell.
Yeah.
'Cause it was pure torture going on in that class. Everybody is just wild and fighting everything. And I remember that, and they broke us up in that way in elementary school and middle school.
Yeah, so at the public school, I attended Park Ridge Elementary when I was younger. I had a major stuttering issue, right? And I think because most of it is because my household was bilingual, right? My parents spoke Creole, and I had to, the way I learned English, of course, is by going to school and mingling with the other kids in the community. And even to this day, as an adult, I struggle with that, right? So sometimes I have to pause and let my brain catch up so I can
Right.
finish my sentence. But this was something that if my parents paid more attention, I could have resolved or gotten better as a young man. I've had to notice that there was an issue there,
So let me ask a question. Now your household do your kids are bilingual?
My kids are not bilingual. Damn. They're not bilingual.
Yeah.
And it's my fault. But at the same
Cause
time,
you fluent with Creole,
no, I'm not the best with Creole, but I can speak it, absolutely.
and your wife is familiar with the language.
She's worse than I am.
Oh, okay. Your wife Haitian though.
She is.
Okay, so 2 Haitian parents that do not speak Creole in the crib.
Well, it's not that we speak it amongst each other. That's like our private language, like when we want to talk about them, right? and they're around, and we're trying to negotiate who's going to talk to them about the dirty room, or or who, my wife and I. That's just our secret language. We talk.
Right.
We talk amongst ourselves. My oldest, he picks up some of the words, and he understands when we're talking about him.
Right.
My youngest, not at all. Completely
Over his head right now.
over his head. But that's just to go back to, Star Point. Like, I struggled with communication a lot. It wasn't until I got to college I realized, like, you got to know how to, I have to start giving presentations.
Right.
So learning how to communicate was very important. And let me tell you, I struggled my freshman year. I struggled. for every presentation, I was standing at the mirror and I was giving the presentation over and over because of the fear of public speaking. Right. But if we would have nipped that, a lot earlier, in my life, I believe I would have been a better speaker. Now, the reason that I'm capable of speaking with you guys now, right, is because I practiced. And not only that, I worked for corporate for 16 years. And because of that, I constantly had to give presentations, right? So that actually helped me as an adult. But leaving it to my parents' hand and the teachers that I had back then, it was a failing system.
Man, Coach, you know what though? You're a rock star, man. Cause you on the radio right now. You on the Way Up show, and you speaking very well. I'm so proud of you, Coach.
I still make mistakes here and there.
But it's a testament, right? That we're not limited. I think you hit on the head. You identified, right, what your challenges were, where your needs were, and you provided that extra support for yourself.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of great people in our world that have done great things and contributed to our society that had some type of, again, we're calling it neurodivergency now, right? There's another movie, in fact, called Temple Grandin, and that is about a scientist. She's one of the top scientists in the industry, and she had autism. I think about Goggins. Yeah. Y'all heard about Goggins?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had a learning disability, and he would use notebooks, and he would write things 4 different times to impress things in his mind, so he could be on the same level. But he did it, and that man is getting paid millions of dollars now to be a speaker.
It's crazy you said that, man. We got to think about Eric Thomas, right? He's the number one motivational speaker in the world. Mm-hmm. And Eric Thomas struggled. It took this guy over 10, 15 years to graduate college.
Right.
And now he has his doctorate. That speaks volume. And again, he had a learning disability when he was younger. It went over his mom's head. Right. His grandma knew there was an issue, but his mom didn't know there was an issue. The teachers thought he was just a clown, a kid that never wanted to learn, right? But what they didn't understand is he was dealing with some serious delays, learning disabilities. So again, guys, it's in my opinion, it's we always got to blame it on the system. I hate to blame it, but that's what it is. The system never invested into our future.
Well, I'm curious to know what you guys out there think. Is this a system issue, a society issue, a household issue? Who is really responsible at the end of the day? And what can we do about this? Talk to us. We talk back. We talk nice. We on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. We all out here on every social media platform. So wherever you find us, we will meet you there.
Let's do it.
Yo, you already know, man. It's your Doom City friendly monster. We are back, Coach. We are back.
You already know it's the holiday time. You know how we do it,
man. Happy Labor Day to everybody's out there, man. Whoever having a barbecue, please hit my DM. That's at Coach _Dantes on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter. Send me that invite. I'll be waiting. We're leaving the studio here in less than 30 minutes.
Yes,
you
sir.
Eat anybody food?
Oh, don't do that stuff. It's a
Man,
holiday.
It's a holiday. Things get cooked on a grill, so I'll eat from anybody on a grill except chicken, because I don't know if you cleaned it right. I'm Haitian, so you gotta make sure you clean your chicken right. You know what I'm saying? But a hot dog or a sausage, you can't kill me with that.
Okay, a hot dog or a
So what you
sausage,
doing for it today, Star? I know you gonna be on the beach or somewhere.
Man, the way this weather looking, I will not. I got no plans. Somebody hit me up. Let's put some plans in my schedule.
What about you, Mr. Black?
I'm gonna go watch the U.S. Open, man.
Okay.
Yeah, last night I watched Coco Golf lose.
Oh yeah.
So I was kind of tight about that. So I'm watching the U.S. Open today.
Yeah, well, y'all already know it's family time, and then I want to see what them Seminoles gonna bounce back. Florida State, they got a big game tonight. We need y'all back in the playoff hunt, because I don't know after what the Canes did to Gators, it's gonna be hard to get them back in. But Florida State, we still have a chance.
Florida State definitely have a chance, man. I'm gonna ride with Florida State for sure, and I can't wait for the game to come on, Coach. I'm gonna give you play-by-play text messages.
Okay, you watching the game too?
Oh, you already know.
With a plate in hand.
You already know.
So guess what, guys? This is what we talking about when we looking at the On the Way Up show right here at the Highly Unique Studio. And y'all can go on Facebook and we can and actually see how we bring the energy right here in the studio. So again, Coach, man, this thing is taking off. Mr. Black, thank you for all the love you've been showing us and taking me to the film festival. Let me see some famous people. I think I like my job.
Absolutely. And it was just a blessing that we're using the entertainment and media industry to push, things that are very important. Romeo had made a point the other night to say that this is his first film that he actually felt fulfilled and passionate about. He's been acting since 10 and, he was getting multiple jobs, but this is the first movie that he chose to get behind and really push because it had meaning, and a purpose. It's not just a movie, it's a movement.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Man, this past weekend was great. I still got a lot of people to reach out from this past weekend. And, man, I look to work, get a lot of work done this week. So I'm out.
Yes, sir.
I'm out.